my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Gonna play Fortnite. While I'm playing Fortnite, we're gonna do Monday Night Raw review. We're gonna talk about WWE Monday Night Raw, July 28, 2025. The go home show for SummerSlam. Make sure this live stream gonna be like an hour long. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys want to see more. I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. I got more on the way, so hit that like button. It's been sponsored by JD from New York, Salamanca Sound Off, Fight for Pro Wrestling, Good Might Work Commentary, and other favorite podcasters that I know of. Now we will talk about Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about the news and rumors in WWE. I'm not going to do my predictions. I think I'll do that on Friday, where I'll talk about my predictions on who I think will win at SummerSlam. Because SummerSlam 2 nights, I believe we got 7 matches, and we got 7 matches on night 1, and 6 matches on night 2. We might have lost a match, by the way. Yeah, so alright, so, Monday Night Raw was alright. It was a decent show. Wasn't anything too spectacular. There were some good things at the culmination of the end of some of their rivalry going on. Now, we did get another memorial. We got the Hulk Hogan tribute with all the superstars coming out there. Raw paid tribute to Hulk Hogan with the 10-bell salute. Triple H was speaking of how great Hulk Hogan was. The show opened up with Paul Heyman to Jey Uso. Your family has always lied to you. Had a very good segment with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. Alright. Damn it. Yeah, so, alright, so, hold on. Now, hopefully that there's no enemies here, that no one's gonna try to kill me or anything. Just want to make sure no one's trying to kill me so I can go on my commentary. Alright, hold on. Now let me talk about Monday Night Raw, WWE. Let's get back into Monday Night Raw. So as I said, I talked about the opener with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. Pretty good segment. We got Sheamus defeated Grayson Waller, and then Rusev came out and attacked them. It wasn't Sheamus in theory, it was Sheamus and Rusev released Ace Laley or so on Sheamus and attacked them. We got a mixed tag team match with the Judgment Day, Raquel and Roxanne and Dominic against the Kabuki Warriors and AJ Styles. AJ Styles pinned Dominic Mysterio. If AJ Styles got the win here, he's clearly not winning at SummerSlam, and if he does, that's a waste, and why would he? It was an okay match, it was alright. I don't think AJ Styles is winning. We had a pretty good segment with Lyra Valkyria. She said she changed some things to Becky Lynch. And then Becky Lynch attacked her. She got Becky stumbled. Lyra turned the tables on Becky Lynch with candlestick. I'm looking forward to the match. The match is labeled no disqualification. It will be the culmination of the feud. Pretty sure Lyra gonna win the belt back. We also got a backstage segment with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Sami Zayn shut down Karrion Kross ahead of the SummerSlam match. It should be a great match. I am looking forward to it. So, I don't think Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross has a stipulation, just a match. It's a rematch. People are tired of seeing this match. The fourth time we saw it. We saw this match Night Champions. I think we saw it twice on Raw. Hopefully the feud moves on, and I don't know who wins. At this point, I'm struggling to care. So, yeah. We got a eight-woman tag with Rhea Ripley, Nikki Bella, Destiny Valkyrie, and Io Sky versus the Secret Harvest and Naomi. Obviously, the babyface got the win. I think Stephanie pinned Chelsea. Nikki Bella making her in-ring return. Now, we saw her at Evolution, but it's the first time she wrestled on Raw in years. Don't know how long that's been. But yeah, it was a very good match. The babyface got the win. Obviously, it's building to the match at SummerSlam, the triple threat match. We also had a great tag team match with the Judgment Day versus the LWO. Finn Balor, JD McDonough versus Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. They won with the help of two El Grande Americanos. They helped Judgment Day beat LWO. Now, one of them Chad Gable, the other one Ludwig Kaiser. Is Chad Gable coming back? Is Chad Gable back from injury? And Ludwig Kaiser, they were the other Grande Americano. Kind of weird. I'm struggling to be invested in Grande Americano. I'm struggling to care. Actually, I just don't. I really, really don't. And I did struggle to care. But the tag team match was great. Match of the night. Great tag team match. Yeah, so that was that. We got Jey Uso and Braun Breaker, and that was the main event. And then we got CM Punk and Gunther in the face-to-face they changed words, setting up that match. And then we got Jey Uso and Bronson Reed. That was the main event.
As a result, there is no redeeming that. There is no coming back from that. There is no repairing that. There is no growing.
We got no DQ.
Just dropping the profanity, but that was funny.
The best thing on the show was how the show ended. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they look very, very strong. They stood tall against Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. They were both dominant. They destroyed them to close out the show. They were both very, very strong.
Did he really? Oh, he went. It was.
Alright, hold on a second. Gonna have to put this.
More of a kiss, but I like to believe that he took a nice good old whiff. There is a strong market out there for sneakers. So I'm just saying, maybe Bronson's one of them, you know?
Okay, well, I knew there was a market for, like, feet fetishes and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but not stinky.
Good old feetfinder.com, you know?
Hey, Santi, are you
Use
on
promo
Wiki
code
Feet?
Santi. Use promo code Santi on feetfinder.com.
Are you on WikiFeet?
No, what is that?
Wait, you don't know what WikiFeet is?
Okay, first of all, you need to relax because that I promise you that is not something that you would say to somebody in your regular life. You don't know WikiFeet?
No! Measures the people's foot. So you can rate, like, if it's a beautiful foot or an ugly foot. Do you have one? Are you on?
No, I'm not on there, thank God.
Okay, well, do not search Denise Salcedo, okay? Do not search!
Literally in the process right now. Denise Salcedo.
I cannot believe
You're on here! You're on WikiFeet? What the fuck?
How do you think I know about it? I found out about it, and I found out
are shockingly barefoot a lot, clearly.
No, those pictures are old. I make sure to like watch my feet now. Ever since I saw that my pictures get posted, and I don't know, like there's someone legitimately updating this stuff. Like they look forward to it. Like anytime your foot gets caught in any sort of whatever, someone sees it and posts it up. I swear, it's crazy.
That is hilarious. I'm
It's
sorry
awful.
I'm sorry that your feet are being objectified like this.
What pisses me off the most, Santi, is that people are rating it without getting a clear, concise.
You're mad? Like, first of all, you're not even getting the good lighting, the good angles.
Exactly. They're getting like far away shots. But anyways, so I think we're bound to see by the end of the night. I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns' sock feet are gonna be on WikiFeet at some point.
Seems that way, yeah. Anyways,
moving on. So, how'd you feel about what you saw tonight?
I'm like partly there with you. I love the ending. I thought the ending was brilliant. The destruction of Roman Reigns, the double spear through the barricade. When you think that the beating is done, it keeps going. I really liked how strong Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker looked here. This is the most impressed that I've been by Seth Rollins' faction since the debut of Braun Breaker within the faction. And it's now been a long time because that happened the night after WrestleMania. So we're talking about a handful of months at this point. This is the most impressed that I've been with this group and Braun Breaker in a while. It was definitely one of those moments that's like reminded me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Mania match. Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns. This is a WrestleMania match, and we're gonna get a little taste of it at SummerSlam. The rest of the show I thought fell flat. We were obviously going to go through it like segment by segment, but I thought that most of the rest of the show was rather weak.
Well, here's the thing in regards to the stuff about Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and all of that. Do you think that in a way they're shining brighter now without Seth Rollins? And mind you, they're also seeming like they were trying to figure out. I guess we're trying to make sense of who is the actual leader now. Like, is it Paul Heyman? Is it gonna be Braun Breaker? Because Braun Breaker said, "Hey man, I have a plan today," and it looks like he did because they ended up being the ones that were on top of this entire situation. So, do you think that Paul Heyman should be the leader, or do you want to kind of see a world where maybe Braun Breaker takes the reins a little bit more so in this group?
Yeah, let me just quickly close your WikiFeed page. I still had it up. Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is just by default, yes. They are shining more in a situation where they have to, right? There's more of a spotlight on them. And I think the most important thing is that they're taking this extra time that they're appearing on TV, this extra spotlight, and shining. They could easily suck. They could easily fall flat. And they haven't done that since they've been forced to really have to carry the mantle of Seth Rollins and this group. So maybe a little bit of a silver lining with the Seth Rollins stuff. It kind of forces people to wear a different hat in light of changing circumstances. And I think that they're both doing a really great job. And I like the idea of Braun Breaker kind of like asserting himself as a leader in the absence of Seth Rollins, because whether it's their intention or not, to me it plays nicely into a future power struggle between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins when that inevitably happens.
Exactly that, man. That's what we need to see. I think this is now the opportunity. This is it. We've been talking a whole lot about how Braun Breaker is the future, right? How he has so much potential. He's a future main eventer for WrestleMania. Well, the time is now. It's right now to make this guy into something, because, who knows how much longer Roman Reigns is going to be here in WWE. I'm pretty sure at some point Hollywood's going to come knocking and he's going to be leaning towards that direction. I don't know. The point is we have Roman Reigns right now, and this is the time for him to do that. And when Seth Rollins comes back, I do eventually want to see Braun and Seth, like you said, have that power struggle. So I do hope that Braun Breaker is the guy who kind of takes the reins and becomes the leader in this scenario, because he needs to add more to his aura. He needs to add more to who he is and build his stock up. And right now is the perfect opportunity. This is what I think they thought they had when they had Solo Sikoa's bloodline go after Roman Reigns and all of that. All of what they thought they were doing at that moment is happening right now. Like, this is the one where you run with it. So I'm really looking forward to the SummerSlam matchup and then eventually getting to that one-on-one. But we got a couple of super chats here. We got Mitaru here who says, Santi, did you order a thief shoes or did you ask Bronson Reed for the shoes from Roman?
What are a thief shoes?
I don't know. I was hoping you knew.
No, I don't know what that is. But no, I constantly praise Roman Reigns' shoe game though. He pulls high tops off real nice.
Yeah, he does. He's should, right? He's bloated. Thank you, Victoria. We got Ab Fatty here who says, Lisa, when Santi pulls up, mention that his favorite episode of SpongeBob is the Panty Raid one, and he's doing a panty giveaway. Bro, I thought you were giving away a door last time. Now it's panties?
No, that is not my favorite episode of SpongeBob.
Which one's that one?
The Panty Raid episode?
I don't remember that one. Which one's that one?
It's an episode where Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob, and Patrick do a panty raid and steal the panties off of a girl's sleepover. And one of the girls in the sleepover is Mr. Krabs' own daughter. It's weird. It's a weird episode. It's a weird episode.
Oh, Pearl, yeah.
Pearl,
okay,
yeah.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Wait, are you a SpongeBob girl?
I love SpongeBob.
What is your favorite SpongeBob episode?
Oh, shit. Okay, so I don't remember the name.
That's fine. No. Quote it. Give me one moment from it and I'll know.
Okay, let me see. Which one's my favorite one? Oh, I like the one when they're trapped inside of Sandy's house.
Oh, yeah. By the way, it was his mom. Not Pearl. It was his mom.
Oh, okay. Well, whichever one that they're inside her house and they can't get out.
Because Sandy's hibernating and she turns into this giant scary squirrel.
Yes, she's scary, the scary squirrel, yes.
I'm Dirty Dan. Yeah, for me it was, do you remember the Smitty Werber Jaegerman Jensen? It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was number one.
Okay, maybe you're just a more hardcore SpongeBob fan
I am a hardcore bobber.
I'm more of a casual
bobber.
then.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fatty. We got infamous, but I do live for SpongeBob memes, though. SpongeBob memes are life. All right, thank you. We got infamous Raider Loco here who says, if Bronson Reed smashes your family jewels, get yourself some Blue Chew promo code Denise and get back in the game in minutes. You'll thank me later. Amen. Thank you, Frank.
Did you order some Blue Chew? Check out wikifeet.com/Denise.
You did not just plug my Wiki page.
No, I plugged Blue Chew.
You plugged my WikiFeed page. It's horrible. Do you have any idea? Right now, my WikiFeed page is probably getting the most hits out of like anybody. I'm like out here beating God knows who. Incredible. Thank you, infamous Rare Loco. We got Bob Ross Jr. who says, see, me personally, I wouldn't let another grown man steal my shoes. Of course not. It's insulting. He left Roman Reigns out there with his socks out. Do you know how vulnerable and embarrassing it is to be out there with your socks exposed? Thankfully, you didn't have a hole in them or anything like that. Thanks, Bob. We got Rafael Garcia who says, I'm trying to be reasonable, but now I don't know anymore because what do you mean Pete Dunne was Mascara Aguilar? I'm assuming that's his name now. Okay, what is going on with Pete Dunne as of late?
I have no idea. Sorry, do people think that that was Pete Dunne? Is that what the prevailing theory
I'm assuming. I'm a little bit out of the loop right now, but thank you, Rafael Garcia.
I don't know. It seems like a conspiracy theory to me.
All right. MSQ says, I asked both you and Santi the question of what degree to pursue, and your answers are similar but different at the same time. LOL. Thoughts on what you both think of the degree question between communications and business? Well, Santi, you're a business major, right?
No, legal studies and poli-sci.
Okay. See, I was broadcast journalism, so I was telling MSQ that it really depends on what he's planning on actually doing in terms of if he should go into business or into communications.
Yeah, what I told him is, at least at my university, the comms degree is if you want to party. That's where all the good parties are. Yeah, the comms people.
Okay, well, I can't really say that that's not necessarily true because we did work hard, but the best part about being a communications major is you only take one math class and then you're done, baby. College algebra, you're done after that. You don't gotta worry about nothing.
Yeah, you just gotta know a couple shapes. You just gotta know a pentagon and an octagon.
Thanks, MSQ. We got Casey Poole here who says that Carrion was the best part of Raw, just like Sancho Mania is the best part of wrestling. It's cool. It's going to be a Bloodline Rules, Mama Rhodes, Bing Bong Wapa.
That's Wepa.
Okay, well, I'm saying it Wapa because that's how Chandler Bing says it.
Wapa.
Casey Poole, thank you. All right, so since the topic of Karrion Kross was brought up, they did have a sit down with him and Sami Zayn here tonight, and Karrion Kross was like weirdly caressing this steel pipe. It got very, very intense. I don't know what was crazier, him and that steel pipe or Bronson sniffing Roman Reigns' shoes. Who knows? What'd you think of this?
I really like this, and hear me out here for a second. This feels like a throwback to a time that wasn't that long ago. Promos nowadays, I don't know if you've noticed, it's not people talking to each other. It's talking to the camera, and then the other dude gets a chance, and then they talk to the camera. This was a conversation. I miss this. We didn't even get it with Punk and Gunther. Just talked at Punk last week, and then this week, Punk talked at Gunther. There's no conversations anymore in today's landscape of promos. So I was like, oh, this was refreshing. Just hear them actually go back and forth and having a conversation, telling a story with one another, because it's been so much of what's called asynchronous storytelling, where you just hear one character and then you have to wait to hear the other somewhere else down the line. I like conversational promos, and it's not something that we get very often anymore. So I really like this.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm glad that you brought that up because, I mean, they actually made eye contact. That was nice, too. I think but my favorite part of this whole entire promo, though, was I think a lot of people have been wondering if Sami Zayn was going to turn heel. A lot of people had been wondering if he was going to follow in Karrion Kross's footsteps or whatever, right? I think my favorite part was Sami Zayn basically just straight out, as simple as this, saying Karrion Kross is wrong. Karrion Kross is wrong. You're wrong about what you said about me. And it was something so simple, but I thought it went a long way to that. If you are anticipating Sami Zayn to turn heel, I feel like maybe you shouldn't anticipate it as much anymore, because to me, the way that Sami Zayn responded, those theories to me now are out the door. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like Sami's turning. And so that's what this sit down essentially accomplished for me, at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure eventually down the line, WWE is going to tell the story of Sami Zayn going after the World Heavyweight Championship, so that's part of the reason why I don't see him losing here. And the whole thing with Karrion Kross not even being re-signed yet also kind of has that up in the air as to, like, do you want to give a win to a guy that's not re-signed yet, whose contract is up later in August? I don't know.
The only reason I'm not as, worried about that is because I've been noticing that now, ever since TKO took over, that's sort of been their MO, where they really wait sort of last minute to talk to people about their contracts. And the fact that he's still, like, on TV, on a program right now, I take it as a good sign for Karrion Kross. But of course, mind you, he spent way more time really not doing anything on TV than he is now. And, come on, they had R-Truth also. They ditched him when he had just had a match against John Cena and then told him sayonara goodbye. But at least you know now that is something that they are doing, where people are waiting pretty much last minute to hear back anything. On the bright side, I think it would be far worse if we weren't seeing him on TV and we also knew his contract was being up. So in case you're a Karrion Kross fan, maybe that'll...
Passed away at the age of 71 last Thursday, but as I mentioned, this was the final Raw before SummerSlam, a show that we now know will have a 3-hour pre-show on both nights with no matches, as far as we know, on any of the pre-shows. 6 hours worth of pre-shows. I hope you're ready for this weekend. Just a little excessive, I would say. One of the matches at SummerSlam has the return of Roman Reigns. He's going to be teaming with Jey Uso to take on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the Braun Bros. And that was what we saw at the end of Raw tonight. It was Jey Uso and Bronson Reed. Not much of a main event. Didn't go very long. DQ finish. It was all to set up the return of Roman Reigns at the very end of the show. And just when it looked like the babyfaces were going to stand tall, Braun Breaker said earlier he had a plan. And we saw what that plan was. That plan ended with Jey Uso taking a tsunami splash and Roman Reigns, after being speared, taking a tsunami splash. And then, to add insult to injury, Bronson Reed stole Roman's shoes. He stole his Jordans. I don't really know what that was all about, but he took them, and he posed with them, and he kissed them. Somewhere Tony Atlas just got a tickle up his spine. And that was the closing scene on Raw tonight. Total dominance here from Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Heading into the second biggest pay-per-view here, or PLE, whatever you want to call it, of the year. A show tonight that it wasn't that great. I mean, there were parts of the show that I enjoyed. There were other parts that were very dull. It was fine. You know, as a go-home show, it was fine. We have reached that point where they have done all they can do to really promote SummerSlam. And so we got what we got with Punk and Gunther. You know, last week I commented on how lackluster and how disappointing the promo segment was with the two of them, and I was hoping we would have more of an interaction between them tonight. Not really. I wouldn't say much of a back and forth, but what we got out of CM Punk on the microphone tonight was much better than what we had last week. This was almost like a return to form for CM Punk, as he tried to really drive home the fact that I don't want to be the World Heavyweight Champion. I need to be the World Heavyweight Champion. And he was talking to Gunther about, you know, why that was so important to him, which is good. I mean, you want him to illustrate that point. It's a match that we've had all of 2 weeks to really promote. You know, Punk won that gauntlet match a couple of weeks ago, and so already SummerSlam is here. Not a whole lot of time, you know, to really invest in this match and do a whole lot to get people really excited for it. But they did, I thought, a pretty decent job with that on the mic tonight. And then the rest of the show was just kind of there, honestly. I mean, it was those two closing segments, the stuff with the heels at the end standing tall, and the Punk and Gunther segment. That really was the best part of Raw tonight. You know, we had a 6-person mixed tag, and we had an 8-woman tag team match, and we had some more stuff with Becky and Lyra, which frankly I didn't think was all that great. There was a sit-down interview recorded earlier in the day with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, which I'll touch on, that I thought was well done. Still a lot of questions about Karrion Kross' future. Does he have one? Supposedly his contract is up in August, and there's been no reports, there's been no talk about him either being in discussions with them or having signed a new deal. Keeping that on the down low, or are we seeing the last of Karrion Kross very soon, which would be kind of crazy to me. I don't know why you would just let him walk away, but still a lot of questions about his future. So we'll talk about everything that happened on the show tonight, and also, you know, this Raw obviously aired on Netflix. There's another WWE show that is actually debuting on Netflix tomorrow night, and it's called WWE Unreal. Now, the big preview for Unreal last week that they showed us was the I Show Speed angle from the Royal Rumble earlier this year, which was an angle. Didn't really take us behind the scenes all that much last week in the preview that they showed us. I thought that was kind of an odd clip to use. So, earlier today, on social media, Netflix put a clip out, I assume it's from the first episode, showing Triple H, like a 3-minute clip, with Triple H talking about how the John Cena heel turn came to be. I could already see that the show was going to bug me. But he's going into detail about how the heel turn came about for John Cena, and he goes, there were 5 people who needed to know. You know, Nick Khan needed to know, and he was on board. And then it was The Rock, and I'm like, why the fuck does The Rock need to know? But okay, The Rock needs to know, and The Rock loved it. And of course, they don't get into anything about The Rock wanting Cody to go heel or anything like that, at least not in the clip. But like, I was blown away when he's mentioning all of these people that need to know, right, about this big heel turn, this big monumental heel turn. And beyond Nick Khan and The Rock, he mentions Cody Rhodes. briefed about this, we gotta tell Travis Scott. We gotta tell Travis Scott because this whole thing is set to revolve around him. You know, the name of this show is quite appropriate. Unreal. That was my reaction when I heard that. We're doing this because it has to revolve around Travis Scott. This thing was doomed to fail from the start. Doomed. I could already see this show is going to make me very angry. But, could be interesting. So anyway, yes, that is debuting tomorrow night for those of you who are interested in that. Of course, at some point I will be watching it this week. I'll be a little busy tomorrow night, obviously, but later in the week I'll check out the first episode and we'll talk about that on the podcast this weekend. But I could already see this is going to be a doozy. Unlike this show tonight, this wasn't a doozy, but let's talk about it. This is your Raw Netflix review. Final one here for the month of July. It is July 28th, 2025. I am the Solid Monster. Thank you for hanging out with me here on a Monday night. Do subscribe if you are new to the channel. Welcome. Hit that like button as well. We're looking for at least 400 thumbs up if we are to do our Be the Booker segment later on. Super chats are open. You will see them popping up on your screen. I will be reading through your messages a little bit later. If you have questions, comments, anything like that you want to support, that is the way to do so. You see the pinned message also in the live chat. Also want to mention I got a lot of really positive feedback to this, and I just want to say thank you because on episode 922 of The Sound Off, which dropped yesterday, I spent 45 minutes talking about the life and legacy of Hulk Hogan, warts and all, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the response to it has been overwhelmingly positive. More positive than I initially thought it would be. So I just want to say thank you for all the comments, and I very much appreciate that. If you missed it, do check out the full podcast. Of course, the segment itself is also up here on the YouTube channel. So if you would, got some time to spare, go ahead. Raw started as SmackDown did, with all of the wrestlers, this time from the Raw roster, wrestlers and agents and producers all gathered together on stage. This time in front, unlike Friday where they had Jimmy Hart, and Ted DiBiase, and Sergeant Slaughter, Gerald Briscoe, and Brian Blair, they were not there. This time Eric Bischoff was there. I know he was invited to be there on Friday. Couldn't make it. Wasn't going to be possible. So he was there tonight. Obviously very close with Hogan. Business partners with Hogan. Hulk's son Nick was there with his wife. So Nick, his wife, Bischoff were up front along with Bruce Pritchard. He was back out there again. CM Punk was also in the front. Paul Levesque, oddly, was not out there. But we heard his voice. So what they did was they took his introduction from the tribute when he was out there on stage with everybody on Friday, and they just replayed it over the PA system. Because I was like, I don't see him out there. And then there was one point when he was speaking on Friday where he kind of, there was like a word that he fumbled. And he fumbled it again here. I said, well, that's kind of odd. I go, wait a minute, they're just replaying what he said on Friday. So I don't know why he wasn't out there, but they played his remarks. And then they segued again into a 10-bell salute and a very nice video package set to the song Ordinary by Alex Warren. This was even better than the video they cobbled together on Friday that Triple H did the narration for. This was very well done. And again, it's just weird watching it because it's like I'm watching this back and all these moments, and it's my childhood in 4 minutes. Like flashing before my eyes. It's just such a weird thing. And not just seeing Hogan everywhere, but, Hogan and Savage and all these people who are no longer with us. Hogan and Savage and Andre and Elizabeth and Bossman, and it's just like, man, there's so I mean, they're not all gone, but enough of them are gone, and wouldn't even be that old if they were still around, where it's just very depressing. But, you know, I mentioned I got a lot of really positive feedback to the Hogan segment on the podcast. But
Damn it, I should take my gun.
number of people that I have seen on social media arguing with me, of all things, over the comment that Hulk Hogan is the most famous professional wrestler.
Is descending upon New Jersey. The very smelly New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. The first ever two-night SummerSlam. I don't feel like it's SummerSlam weekend. I don't think we...
MJF there and Becky, you know, I think Becky did a great job. So did MJF. I love the cameos. Like, literally everybody was in this movie. Everybody from, you know, Post Malone to, Jesus Christ, Nick Swartzen and all these guys. Like, everybody is in the movie. And
Maybe Lyra, if Lyra ends up winning the Intercontinental Championship, maybe that's the fall program.
I just don't know. I guess I read this whole story wrong.
SummerSlam is not doing it for me, man. Though I will say, the card looks better than WrestleMania. I won't say the build has necessarily been better than WrestleMania, but the card at least for two-night SummerSlam looks better than what WrestleMania's card was in Las Vegas. Tonight's go-home show did not do anything to really enhance my excitement for this weekend SummerSlam. This was the safest go-home show that I think WWE has done in a very, very long time. There wasn't really anything that stood out to me as, oh my God, I can't wait to see this match. Oh my God, I can't wait to watch these two guys or these two women or these women in general wrestle. They didn't really do much to enhance anything for me as the viewer. It's like walking into a jewelry shop and you're looking to buy the fanciest of diamonds. I need you to sell me on something, bro. I don't want some lab-created fucking piece of shit garbage. I want the highest of clarities. I want that shit to be pristine. Don't sell me something from the clearance bin or the clearance case. I need something that is going to last a lifetime. I need something that when you look at it, you're going to get excited every single time you look at it. WWE was the jewelry salesman, me, many, many, many moons ago. And as a salesperson, WWE did not sell me on SummerSlam tonight. They did not sell me on SummerSlam at all. The biggest thing that happened on tonight's show was Braun Breaker, as if we need any more indication that Braun Breaker is going to be a superstar. We need any more indication that Braun Breaker is going to be the face of the company, that he's going to be the next heir to the throne. WWE did a fantastic job of solidifying who Braun Breaker is and what Braun Breaker is going to be from this point on and for the next several months until he takes his rightful place atop the WWE. We didn't really need to be sold on Braun Breaker. I think everybody's kind of made up their minds on Braun Breaker. Most people enjoy Braun Breaker's work. A lot of people understand what Braun Breaker's about. A lot of people are excited for the future of Braun Breaker. WWE did one thing tonight that really popped me. And they put over Braun Breaker over not only Jey Uso, but they put over Braun Breaker on Roman Reigns. And what they did tonight in the closing segments of the show, that's exactly how you create a superstar in today's pro wrestling landscape. I thought what they did was flawless. I thought what they did was brilliant. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to reiterate this again to everybody on Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow, because we will have SummerSlam predictions and a full preview of the two night show that will be at MetLife Stadium. I'm saying this now, I'm going to reiterate it again tomorrow with the Solid Monster. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed need to defeat Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I don't care that on the Go Home show, and if you look in the Pro Wrestling Handbook, Pro Wrestling 101 for Dummies says if the heels get one over on the babyface, or the babyface gets one over on the heel, or heels before a pay-per-view, then more than likely they will lose at the pay-per-view. I'm going to need WWE to ignore the handbook. I'm going to need WWE to rip it up and fucking burn it. What needs to happen at SummerSlam is very simple. We need Braun Breaker to spear Roman Reigns and pin Roman Reigns 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring on Saturday afternoon.
Exactly.
That's what needs to be done. Why do you need to stop the momentum of what this group did tonight? They're already missing their leader, who I'm assuming we'll see on either Saturday or Sunday, depending on which championship he cashes in on. They've been without Seth Rollins for weeks now. Yet you want to take this group, who is minus their leader, have them go into war by themselves, and then have them lose. That's not really building a new faction. That's not building new stars. That's not building credibility. Braun Breaker spears Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker pins Roman Reigns 1, 2, 3. And you solidify superstardom. Do you think Roman Reigns taking a loss on Saturday afternoon is going to even dent the armor that is Roman Reigns? I don't think so. Roman Reigns is going to take a spear. Roman Reigns could very well take a spear and disappear till Survivor Series. And nothing will be lost. The man will be just as invincible as he always is. Just with one loss tacked onto his win-loss record. And Braun Breaker is the one who's going to be on TV every single week. Roman Reigns is not going to be on TV every single week. So yes, though unlikely, because I don't trust WWE, because politics run wild. They always go with their tried and true. Very rarely do they create new stars. Very rarely does a pro wrestling promoter make the right decision. Saturday night, that is the right decision. Braun Breaker pinning Roman Reigns. One spear took out Roman Reigns and Jey Uso tonight. Speared them in stereo through the Timekeeper's barricade. And then, I don't know if this is a Detroit thing, or if it's just a thing in general. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed stole the man's Jordans in Detroit after he laid waste to the bloodline. And then he went on a rampage saying, this is my ring, this is my ropes, this is my company, this is my cameraman, these are my fans. They bark for me every single night. I don't know why you would want to stop that momentum. Braun Breaker needs to win at SummerSlam. No ifs, ands, or buts. And Bronson Reed, he looked like a fucking Godzilla beast out there. Excellent segment. Excellent way to close the show. That was legitimately the only thing that I really, really enjoyed on tonight's show. Everything else was just there. They didn't do much to elicit any excitement for SummerSlam. They didn't really add on top of what I was already feeling for SummerSlam. They didn't push me in either direction. The rest of the show was just there. And a lot of the time, these go-home shows don't really amount to much of anything. Friday night, we'll probably get a weird conglomeration of both brands on Friday night, just to kind of get that excitement flowing one night before SummerSlam. I think they'll be in New Jersey on Friday night. I think they'll be in Newark on Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. But they didn't really do much of anything else to get me like, oh my god, man, I can't wait for SummerSlam. They didn't sell me on SummerSlam. just there. We got a couple of tag team matches. We even got a mixed tag team match tonight with AJ Styles teaming with the Kabuki Warriors against the Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio. We got an all-star 8-woman tag team match for $350,000. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong show. That's the, you need to tell me Triple H does not put fake monies on the line. You mean to tell me that Triple H doesn't label what is clearly an all-star tag team match an all-star tag team match? Oh. You mean to tell me Triple H has a brain while the other guy is a fucking mark? Oh, okay, I got it now. I'm sorry, man, I got a little lost in translation. No fake monies on the line. It's an 8-woman tag team match. We got a tag team match for the tag team titles. Judgment Day versus the LWO. Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn had a nice sit-down interview that doesn't really bode well, in my opinion, about Karrion Kross's status in the WWE. We got news on that. Outside that, there really wasn't much on this Monday Night Raw. Punk and Gunther had a nice segment. Punk finally showed up to work. He showed up to work tonight. He did what he should have did last week, this week, with Gunther. I'm excited about that match, just because I love CM Punk and I love Gunther. I think it's going to be a great match. But they definitely brought the heat a little bit more than they did last week. Tonight for their World Heavyweight Championship match, which will main event night 1 at SummerSlam on Saturday. All in all, very, very safe go-home show. Nothing really blew me out of the water. Nothing got me excited for SummerSlam. It was very safe, and we're going to go over it the best that we can here tonight. This is your Monday Night Raw post-show for the 28th of July, 2025. It still doesn't feel real, bro. The fact that we lost Hulk Hogan, man. I know a lot of people have used the phrase, it's complicated, about Hulk Hogan. It's not really all that complicated to me, because he still is on Mount Rushmore in any generation, in any sense, in any topic, in any conversation. He's on Mount Rushmore. He's the biggest superstar in the history of this sport. There will never be anybody that tops that position. And he is a reason why we are all here. He is a reason why we're all here. It doesn't feel real even still after Thursday. I don't want to say that it's like halted life, but I haven't had a pro wrestling death that has personally bothered me like this one has. And I hope you guys got the message on Friday where we talked about legitimately everything, man. I want to thank you guys for a great... Some of you guys actually reached out to me personally and said that Friday's open to the SmackDown stream, the first hour and 20 minutes. Some of you actually reached out to me via email and via direct message on Instagram and Twitter, saying that it was the best hour and 20 minutes that they've ever seen come from this channel. And that really makes me feel good, man. So, if you guys missed that, go and check it out. I even uploaded the entire segment on my second channel, just for...
Grayson says that they aren't scared, but when he turns around, the New Day are nowhere to be seen. And that led to our match here this week, which was Sheamus one-on-one against Grayson Waller. No New Day to be found. Waller seems to be of the opinion that they're a crew now. New Day seems to not share that same idea, apparently. Sheamus entered first, and then they went to a commercial break. On the flip side, we had Waller, and then the match started. So Sheamus comes out. They go to a commercial break. The entire commercial break, this man is out there messing around. He's, fucking around with Michael Cole. He goes over behind them in the front row. He's signing posters and signing autographs. autographs for people, big smile on his face, having a good time. I feel like Sheamus is going to be one of those guys where when he's done and gone and retired, right, and he's just finished, I feel like we're going to realize we didn't appreciate him as much as maybe we should have when he was around. Not that I don't appreciate him. I mean, he goes out there and pretty consistently puts on good to very good matches on TV. And he's been around forever. I still feel like he's underappreciated. And when he is not around anymore, look, the show goes on, and it's not like he's being used in a major way right now. He's not a major part of any storylines. But I think someone like him, I think it'll be felt when he's not on the show anymore. I don't know how many years he has left. I know he's got the spinal stenosis. He's talked about that before. He's getting older. I think he just re-signed with WWE not that long ago. I don't know if it was a year ago, 2 years ago. So, nothing that's imminent, but, at some point he won't be around anymore. And he seems like he's in that phase of his career now like Randy Orton, where he's just going out there and he's just having a good time. I mean, these guys, they get older, and not that they're not competitive anymore, but, wrestling is a shark tank. And so when you're younger and you're trying to advance and you're trying to move up to that top spot, there's only so many spots to go around. Things are ultra competitive, maybe you're a little paranoid, and then you just get to a point in your career like him and Randy where you're older, your legacy is more secure. These guys are obviously, fucking first ballot Hall of Famers when they go in. And not that they don't care, but they can sort of enjoy it more. And it just looks like they're having more fun. It's like watching Charlotte Flair now on TV doing the stuff with Alexa Bliss. You can tell when they're out there and they're actually having fun. So anyway, yeah, he's just messing around with the fans. Everybody's having a good time. He's like, all right, we got some time to kill here. Come back from commercial, and then we're underway. And this really was just a glorified squash. Sheamus had it won. He set up for a bro kick. Had to stop when he spotted Rusev hit the apron. Sheamus knocked him down. Waller, though, caught him with a schoolboy for a 2 count. Sheamus popped up, hit a bro kick, and got the win. Rusev attacked him when the match was over with his own shillelagh, and then he applied the accolade. Some fans were chanting, "We want Lana." No, we don't. Rusev held the submission on for a while until officials finally got him to let go. And these two men are not on the SummerSlam card. I believe they're setting up for a match next Monday. I believe they're in Brooklyn next week. So they're one win apiece right now. I think we're getting the rubber match next Monday. Jackie Redmond was in the back to speak to Naomi. This weekend is her first title defense, and she says it's a big one against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And this time they will be prepared for her, unlike last time where she cashed in at the very end of their match. This time they're coming prepared. Naomi says Rhea isn't the only one bringing the brutality. And like Io, Naomi can fly too. Everyone in the division was passive-aggressive, but she was aggressive-aggressive. And tonight's tag team match would be a cautionary tale. She did her evil villain laugh, and she warned everyone to proceed with caution. See, now you can hear the fans in the arena, they're chanting along. Her catchphrase is getting over. Backstage, elsewhere, Paul Heyman told Bronson Reed that Jey Uso thinks they're just a group without a leader. I don't think they're a group without a leader. They're a group without a name. 3 months. Still no name. Braun Breaker stepped in and told Reed to take out Jey with a tsunami. Reed was on board with that plan. After he left, Bronson Reed looked at Paul Heyman and said, "I have a plan." Setting up what would come later on in the main event. We had Lyra Valkyria out next to the ring to address her match coming up at SummerSlam with Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental title. She did a little dance, not the Batista, but she did a little dance to show off her, I don't know what this was, these just hideous, giant shoes that she was wearing that make her look probably 4 inches taller than she actually is. But she called them her Becky Stompers. I hope she's not planning on wrestling in those this weekend. And this got no reaction. She then misspoke and said that she would be standing here in 2 weeks, and then corrected herself to say 1 week as the Women's Intercontinental Champion. See, there's so many shows now that even she doesn't know when SummerSlam is. I can't really fault her for that. She acknowledged that maybe she would fail, wouldn't be standing there at all, because Becky would have to beat her into the ground to walk out as the champion. Valkyria knew that Becky didn't like to play by the rules, which was the reason that she won the title in the first place. So she was happy to play it Becky's way. Valkyria said that she was not playing into Becky's hands because she knew exactly what Becky was capable of. But Lynch didn't know what she was capable of. Valkyria was...
And I seen Black Friday signs all over Macy's at the Roosevelt Field Mall on Long Island. Why is it Black Friday? Why is it Black Friday? Is it really... People really shilling on the gimmick of Christmas in July, huh? Unless I have a Mad Elf in my hand in July from Trogs, it is not Christmas in July officially. Someone get me a Mad Elf. Best Christmas beer there is, bro. Just in case you guys need some recommendations 5 months early. Heyman informed Jey Uso that Santa Claus was not the one who left presents. His mother lied. Heyman said their mothers all lied too, except for the Jewish ones. My tribe knows better, he said. Rikishi may have told Jey that he wanted him to be more iconic than him, but his father lied as well. When Reigns named the next in line for Tribal Chief, he picked Solo Sikoa, not Jey Uso. That didn't work out so well. Now Reigns might tell Jey he wants Jey to be as big as him, but Roman Reigns, he was lying to Jey Uso as well. Heyman was simply telling this to Jey because he loved him. He loved Jey just like family. And then he yelled, "Yeet." Jey comes back, and Jey, by the way, was completely winded. I don't know why he was so winded, he didn't even say anything. He let Heyman speak for about 7 minutes. He's standing in the ring, he's completely out of breath. Family was the reason he was out here. Jey would pull up for his family every single time, and the bloodline still runs deep in his veins. Heyman was being disrespectful by talking about the things Jey could do without Reigns. Jey already did those things. He went out on his own and won the world title to prove to himself that he could. Jey wondered where Heyman's family was at this time. Jey said Heyman screwed Reigns at WrestleMania, while his boys screwed him out of a world title shot. Whatever happened to them at SummerSlam was going to be blamed on Paul Heyman. So he basically said the bloodline still is in his heart. He talked about the things that he did away from the bloodline. Heyman was being disrespectful by talking about all the things Jey did without his family. I don't really know what the purpose of this was. What did this exactly do here? I didn't understand anything that Paul Heyman was trying to say here. Is Paul Heyman implying that Roman Reigns is just basically using him at SummerSlam? I don't really understand why anybody would think that. I mean, I know Roman Reigns has a very shady history. But Roman Reigns is simply back for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get to Seth Rollins and get to this group. So yeah, Roman Reigns is not going to be able to fight this group on his own. There's no better choice to back Roman Reigns than family. I think that's the message that Paul Heyman was trying to convey here. I don't think this really meant to do anything but plant seeds of doubt, weakening Jey Uso's mentality trying to imply that Roman is going to do that all over again, and Roman is not the tribal chief you think he is. He's still the manipulator and the abuser and the user that he was when we were all family. It's the only thing that I really could come up with here. Other than that, it didn't really make any sense. It was very long-winded. It didn't sound great as a Paul Heyman promo. Jey Uso, he was out of breath before he even said anything. This took up half an hour of the show, mixed with, obviously, we got a 10-bell salute, and we got a beautiful video package with Hulk Hogan again. Nick Bollea was out there, and his wife, Bruce Pritchard, and the entire Monday Night Raw roster was out there. Very beautiful video package. That took up a good 7 minutes, and then this took 20. So before we even got the bell to ring for our first match, it was past 8:30. This did not need to go as long as it did. Paul Heyman saying what he said did not need to go as long as it did. This was one of the more long-winded Paul Heyman promos that I've heard in a while. Again, it didn't really do anything for me as far as my excitement for this tag team match at SummerSlam. What I am excited about is to see Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns mix it up at SummerSlam. That's the only aspect of this match that I'm genuinely interested in. A lot of people just wanted that match for SummerSlam, one-on-one. But we're getting this tag team match, otherwise Bronson Reed, who deserves a SummerSlam match, otherwise would not have one, and you can't leave Jey Uso off of a two-night SummerSlam. Rikishi would not be pleased. This was very long-winded and didn't really do anything to get anyone excited about the tag team match on Saturday. Bell rings after the 8:30 hour. AJ Styles, Asuka, and Kairi Sane against Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Dominic Mysterio. We got a 6-person mixed tag team match here. This was basically selling AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio, which is on the SummerSlam card. AJ will challenge Dominic Mysterio to try to take the Intercontinental Championship away from the Judgment Day. I hope he does it. I don't think he will, but I hope he does it. And then Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, I do think that they need more of the momentum coming into SummerSlam than Alexa and Charlotte do. Because Alexa and Charlotte, still realistically, they are cohesive. They are teaming together, but it's not really all sunshine and rainbows with Alexa and Charlotte. They still don't really want to be a tag team, but it's out of convenience. They realize that together they are and can be successful, but they still don't like each other and they still don't trust each other. So this did exactly what it needed to do. Got the Judgment Day some momentum going into SummerSlam, and it gave us a little glimpse of AJ and Dominic Mysterio, which will take place this weekend for the Intercontinental Championship. So we got AJ and Dom chants during the commercial break. Kairi speared Roxanne Perez. She couldn't make a tag because Raquel Rodriguez jumped off her apron and walked around to the opposite side of the ring and yanked Asuka off the apron just right before Kairi made the hot tag. This was supposed to be something that we, the viewer at home, were not supposed to see, but the camera angle fucked it up. I vividly saw Raquel Rodriguez walk over there, and we even seen her in camera frame, and we even seen Asuka on the apron because she knew it was going to come. Asuka was sticking her leg out to kind of give Raquel the cue, pull my leg, pull my leg. So it didn't really come off as, oh man, that's a great move, that's a great tag team move by Raquel Rodriguez. It was kind of telegraphed because the camera caught everything when we shouldn't have really seen anything. So she yanks Asuka off the apron. Kairi couldn't tag Styles. Dominic blatantly got into the ring and he knocked Styles off the apron. This all happened right in front of the referee, by the way. So this got Mysterio, saving him in this match from a phenomenal forearm. She did something that many people still can't do a little bit later on in the show. She's trying to butter up Dominic Mysterio. So she tries to save Dominic. Asuka and Kyrie assisted in taking out Perez. Styles assisted Kyrie, lifting her up over the top rope after a nice running start. Delivered a big kind of dive over the top rope that Michael Cole said was an insane dive, or an insane elbow-like dive. Styles jumps to the apron, finishes off Dominic Mysterio with the phenomenal forearm for the 1, 2, 3, and the baby faces here. The Kabuki Warriors and AJ Styles defeat the Judgment Day and Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. I thought this was fun. You know, these matches don't really surprise anybody anymore. They are basically booked the same way. They feel the same way. Everybody chants, "This is awesome, this is awesome." There really isn't anything new or fresh about these matches. It's a very formulaic, very straightforward WWE tag team match. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. This was basically done to get everybody excited about AJ and Dominic at SummerSlam, being that Dominic has faked an injury with a doctor's note, and AJ has taken on the roles of a janitor and a chauffeur and a medic at ringside just to get his hands on Dominic Mysterio, which has been kind of entertaining, I'm not going to lie. But it's going to be nice to see Dominic get in the ring again. I do think fans are really taking to Dominic as of late, especially this year. His appearance in Mexico, at Arena Mexico, where WWE just had a super show, he fucking got a huge ovation. I mean, he was holding the IC title, I believe the AAA Mega Championship, after a post-match attack on Vikingo, I believe it was. One of those guys. I don't know if it was Vikingo or not, but crowd legitimately went berserk for Dominic Mysterio after he made a surprise appearance by ripping off a lucha mask and revealing himself down there at AAA. So, we got Dominic and AJ. I'm looking forward to it, and I don't think that AJ is going to win the championship. I'd like to see him win the championship because I firmly believe Dominic hasn't done much with the championship. But I'm just thinking, last time AJ was in France, he wrestled Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Crowd was fucking crazy. Crowd was crazy. I think if you do AJ and Dominic in a rematch after a fuck finish at SummerSlam at Clash in Paris, and AJ wins the title there, man, that's a moment. That's a moment. So I'm having AJ not win the championship at SummerSlam. I think Dom retains via some Judgment Day run-in, and then we get the rematch happening at Paris, and I think he takes the title in Paris. That's the way I would do it. That's the way I would do it. That's the way I would do it here. So we'll see what happens. AJ, Dominic, SummerSlam, and Raquel and Roxanne, they will defend the tag team championships against Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I don't think Alexa Bliss and Charlotte should win the titles either. I think you also save that for Clash in Paris. I think that could also be another moment at Clash in Paris. I do think that through a loss, Charlotte and Alexa really get on the same page and finally trust each other to a point where they are finally a team. They're only a team out of convenience. I think we need to start selling that story first before we move on to them winning the tag team championship. So I do think that the Judgment Day will retain their gold at SummerSlam. That's my prediction. Jackie Redmond congratulated Sheamus on his win over Rusev. Last week, he quoted Big E by saying it was an example of big, meaty men slapping me. That got a laugh out of the crowd. Speaking of Big E, Sheamus' interview was interrupted by Grayson Waller and the New Day. Grayson Waller apparently thinks the New Day is backing him up. They don't know what this guy's talking about. Waller started talking to Sheamus, said he had the greatest tag team of all time watching his back. Both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods gave him very confused looks, as if they didn't know what he was talking about. An argument between the two led to a match being made. Waller turned around to realize that the New Day were not backing him up as he once thought. Sheamus and Grayson Waller, this match went 4 minutes. Sheamus basically squashed Grayson Waller. I don't know what it is with Grayson Waller. Does WWE even care at this point? WWE broke up Grayson Waller and Austin Theory after Austin Theory supposedly got injured, and they split the tag team up after months of doing absolutely nothing with them as a tag team. They didn't get a proper breakup on television. They wasted television time and backstage segments for months for it to lead nowhere, and he just says the tag team is over because Austin Theory is injured. Man, the creative department seems to be lacking. Who's booking this show? Is it Paul Levesque or is it Tony Khan? I can't tell anymore. Can't really tell anymore. This match went 4 minutes. Who cares? Sheamus and Rusev should actually be on the SummerSlam card. They are not. I'm still holding out hope that Sheamus and Rusev get one more match, and then they come to an agreement that neither guy is better than the other, and they form a tag team, and they own the division. Big, meaty men slapping meat in the tag team division. Pause. I'm sorry. I got carried away. There is meat on the grill, though, if anybody wants some nice tacos. Jesse is grilling some steak tacos for you at the taco truck. He's there right now. Closes in about 45 minutes, but make sure you guys go and get your tacos, man. They are delicious, from what I was told, right? It's 4 minutes. Sheamus popped up, hit a bro kick for an easy win. After the match, Rusev attacked Sheamus with a shillelagh and then applied the accolade. Fans in Detroit chanted, "We want Lana." No, nobody wants Lana. Rusev held the submission for a while. Officials finally got him to let go, and it looks like we are embarking on a third match between Sheamus and Rusev. Oh yeah, there's corn today. There's street corn. Jesse's got corn back in stock, apparently. Keep it quiet, though. You know who may run over here from the other show. He wants his corn because he eats it the long way. Am I supposed to meet him over there at MetLife this weekend? I don't know. Is that still on? No? Okay. Great. Fantastic. Jackie Redmond interviewed Naomi about her upcoming title defense against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Naomi said she could bring the brutality like Rhea and fly like Io. Everyone in the division was passive-aggressive, but she was aggressive, and tonight's tag team match would be a cautionary tale. She did her evil laugh. Naomi's evil laugh, you know. And then she warned everybody to proceed We love Naomi. Naomi's great. We got some words on Hulk Hogan. We got words from Logan Paul, AJ Styles, Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, Jimmy Hart, Natalia, Jey Uso, The Miz, and Cody Rhodes. You believe Cody Rhodes was, fans were trying to cancel Cody Rhodes after what he said on Friday Night SmackDown, and people have lost their mind. Lost their mind, bro. It's crazy. I've never seen such a divided community greatest and most popular, biggest pro wrestler of all time. It's crazy. Michael Cole, he announced the net proceeds from Hogan's merchandise sales will be donated to his family, as they should. WWE also told us tonight, and I was unfortunately not lucky enough to get one, the LJN 1980s figures are being remade. WWE has Hulk Hogan, Dusty Rhodes, John Cena, and Logan Paul as the first four, which are right now up for pre-order at Target, exclusively sold at Target. But the problem is, after WWE made this announcement, bots and scalpers scalped Target for fucking toys. And yours truly was not able to get one. I very much wanted the John Cena and the Hulk Hogan ones. They're going for $24.99 a pop. I used to have them when I was little. I used to have many of them when I was little. And now I'm not going to be able to get it until October when they officially release. Fucking ridiculous. Heyman is backstage. He told Bronson Reed that Jey Uso thinks they're just a group without a leader. Braun Breaker stepped in and said, they have a leader now. Who exactly is the leader? Is Braun Breaker now stepping up as the leader of this group? I'm not sure Seth Rollins will appreciate that. Breaker told Reed to take out Jey with the tsunami tonight, and they could take control of WWE after Raw tonight. Reed was obviously on board. After Reed left to go get ready for his match, Breaker told Heyman he has a plan. Great. I guess he is thinking he is the leader. Lyra Valkyria. We love Lyra.
Alright, I'm going to end the video. I'm going to stop my video right here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more. I will do SmackDown. I will do the petition for SummerSlam this week. Until then, I'll see y'all next time.